Well, I did think it was a little bit strange that when this happened, Jeannie was here and she didn't say anything. She didn't defend me at all. I mean, she just acted like, oh. And then I called her after this happened. I got Mom in the car. We just left. I mean, I was too upset. I cried for 3 days. That's how bad he harassed me. I cried for 3 entire days, and I called Jeannie and I told her. I thought you were the one that told him to. I just figured you were. He said he talked to you because he said he talks to you every day. That's what he told me. I talk to Mick all the time, and I know what you're doing, and all kinds of nonsense. Like he was some sort of lunatic that I thought he was going to pull a gun out and shoot me or something. That's how he was acting crazy. Threatening and going like this at me. And I've had it out of the blue. This is the neighbor.
Hey, I wasn't even here.
I know, but why would...
How can I do that if I'm not here?
Because he said he talks to you in the care center every day.
He never did.
That's what he told me.
That's bull. He never talked to me in the care center.
Well, I was a little...
How would he talk to me in the care center?
He made it sound like he was calling you at the care center. He's going to be...
I think that's Jeannie's.
He said, I talk to Mick all the time, and he's going to be home any day.
That was Jeannie's MO.
Having a good time?
Oh, I am having a great time.
How would I talk to him if I'm in the care center?
Because he made it sound like he calls you. I talk to him every day.
On the telephone?
Yeah.
Baloney.
Years ago today, we first met.
There's no way.
Why would Jeannie call the neighbor and tell him to harass me?
Hey, I don't know.
It's like, I'm taking care of Mom. Should be actually thanking me, not trying to get me harassed.
Yeah.
I did. I cried for 3 days. The man scared me. He scared me so bad that I almost called the police. But, you know, what are the police going to do? Go over next door and tell him not to come over here and harass me. Well, then you have bad neighborly contact, you know, later on. And I didn't want that, so I didn't want the police.
Well, I wasn't here. I had other things on my agenda in the care center. They kept me busy all the time.
All right, well then I guess Jeannie's the one that got a hold of the neighbor and did something or other, because she also acted strange that she didn't step in and say, hey, it's just us, we're here taking care of Mom and you don't need to get so upset. She didn't do that. She just stayed in the house and held back and let me handle it. And then I called her crying after Mom and I left, and I told her how upset I was, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to go back over there if that neighbor's going to come over and, you know, threaten me and harass me. And I was crying on the phone, crying on the message, and I asked her to call me back, and she never called me back. So I thought, well, this is really weird.
Me. Come on.
Well, I mean, you've told all kinds of people terrible things about me. I just figured you told the neighbor too.
What?
Well, I usually hear about what those things are. You know, they get back to me. So Rusty goes around telling everybody about your psycho daughter. That daughter of Mick's sure is psycho. Rusty goes around telling people that about me. She sure is a piece of work. She's psycho. And he goes around telling Scott at SM Tire and all the people.
I have written off Rusty as a friend.
Well, that's what
He's no friend.
That's what he does. Goes around telling people all kinds of stories.
He's no friend of mine.
And
I've
if
written him off.
He went behind your back and tried to get you to go into some sort of care home. You know, that day that he and Jeannie decided they would just bombard you with their own agenda meeting?
I wouldn't have anything to do with it.
I know, it was terrible. I couldn't believe, I don't know whose idea that was, but it was probably Jeannie's. And he went along with it.
You're from New York, aren't you? Hey, everything okay? Oh, hi. Nice to see you again.
No, maybe you better just go.
Oh, well, we're not having an argument. I just
Well, I
wanted,
know, but
it's okay, Mom. We can stay and visit. And I was, that happened not very long ago. I was just so upset that I thought that Dad had said something to the neighbor about, but I believe him. He says that he didn't. I believe him. So,
Hey, I've got my hands full in the care center,
right.
you know.
So he probably lied. He said he talks to you every day, and he probably made that up. So,
Well done, silicone.
anyway, okay, well, subject over with. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
You want me to put some cream in here, honey?
You want me to get you something to drink, Mom?
no, I don't think so.
There's some coffee in the coffee maker if you want.
Well, we usually switch over to iced tea about this time, or soda, or water, or something.
If you mind, honey, please. Thank you.
How's Susie doing?
Huh, she's doing pretty good. I look after her since I've been home, which has not been very long.
Only have a mutual 17-hour window. If we don't get them now, nobody's available for us, and we lose them for the bank.
I've only been here.
Well, I got the carpets cleaned.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Good.
They really needed it.
They did. And I cleaned the bathrooms. And I cleaned the kitchen. And the refrigerator.
Everything.
I didn't do everything. But I did a lot. Never did get the floors mopped. But I did what I thought was at the top of the list. The bathrooms and the kitchen and the refrigerator and the carpet. And then I figured, well, if I had time, I would get to mopping the floors, and I just never got to it. So,
Well, I'm going to say one thing. Rusty is no friend of mine.
so you're not keeping in touch now?
Not at all. I don't want anything to do with him.
You read that in our magazine, you made it up.
Oh, please, Robin, please, 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 Robin, please.
Well,
Oh, good. Do you have a way back to Tahiti?
Oh, yeah, I can.
He has no business in our family.
well, I don't see why, people get to decide, all of a sudden, oh, you're supposed to go into a care home? It's none of his business.
Well, where do you think I was? In a care home.
I know, but for him to come in and confront you that day with Jeannie was wrong. I think it was wrong. Do you remember that day?
I'm looking for
Vaguely.
It was about 3 months ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she told me in a text message, I'm going to get Mom and Dad into the village. This is before you fell.
Well, my boss called me.
So you didn't have any kind of, hip problem or anything going on. This was before. She said, I'm going to get Mom and Dad into the villages and start clearing out the house. And I put it in a text. She sent me this text. I took a picture of it and I showed it to you. I showed you the picture of the text where she
Well,
said,
like I say, Rusty's no friend of mine.
okay, well,
I'm stuck. I really, this is really important. You'd be doing
the text message was from Jeannie saying, I'm going to get Mom and Dad into the villages and start clearing out the house.
Yeah?
And I
Wow.
showed it to you. And so, you just have to,
What can I say? Jeannie's got her own agenda. and it doesn't match mine.
That was in your magazine. Probably made
Well, it doesn't match mine either. People should stay in their own home as long as possible because then they live longer. Once they go into any kind of home, even if they have superior meals and care, it's still not their home.
Well, I had no choice.
I know.
fell and broke my hip.
I know, but I'm saying if she was trying to do that, which she was,
If I stay here, I'll miss you, but you'll feel guilty. I like that better.
you know, well, someday she's going to be 80 something years old and someone's going to try to put her in a home and then she'll see how it feels.
Say that again? I like that. Say it.
It's not going to.
Be pretty.
Well, I'm just telling you, I will fight her to the end on putting anyone in a home.
Like I say, Rusty's no friend of mine. I've talked to him a number of times, and I get nowhere.
Why what does he say?
He says, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. In other words, I don't have a choice in what I do.
He's telling you.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jeannie's doing the same thing. I think. She's probably letting Rusty be the front man.
Well, like I say, I'm not gonna put up with it.
Well, how did those two become friends all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Oh, I got that thing for the cat.
She likes that.
So I had gotten this mattress for the bedroom in Joni's room, you know, and the people that I went to get the mattress from had this cat tower, but they didn't have a cat. So I said, "Are you getting rid of the cat tower?" Because they had just bought the house and moved in, and the house was furnished. Someone else's furnishings were in there. So they were getting rid of all the stuff they didn't like and keeping the stuff that they did like. And that cat tower was one of them. She goes, "Yeah, you can have it. We don't even have a cat. We have a dog." And I said, "Oh, good. My mom's cat would love that because all she had was this little one over here that she's ripping up." So we got that for Susie. I'm glad to see she's using it. That's good.
Yep, she likes it.
A cat with a bird's eye view.
She's where she likes to be.
And then I put that bench in front of the window so she could get up there and look out the window.
Yeah, she can.
So are you planning to eat any of the Meals on Wheels, Dad, or should I call them?
Well, I have it available.
Because it costs $7 a meal. You don't want to throw them away.
Hey, I'm not going to throw them away. That's why they're still in the fridge.
Yeah, but you can't eat food that's sat there since Monday when it's Friday. There's 5 of them in there. Food is only supposed to stay left over for 2 days before you throw it away. I'm just saying. You don't want to get sick. You got sick that one time on the tuna sandwich, remember?
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm not interested in eating them. And I'm not hungry. You know.
Well, you have to eat something.
Well, I do.
What do you eat?
Apples, maybe.
Apples?
Yeah.
Island Flag Watch Beaver 0318. We are 3,500 on a heading.
Or I go to, if I can get a ride, to Smart and Final and get some cookies and some other things.
Say again?
Mom, we should probably put your feet up on that thing while we're here.
I'm sorry. This weather came up quicker than anybody anticipated.
Her feet have been swelling up a little bit.
We're gonna have to turn back to
Doing what?
They've been swelling up a little bit.
Oh. Hmm.
So we're going to start cutting out salt.
Cutting out what?
Salt. Salt.
Salt?
Yeah, we're going to start cutting out salt.
Tighten up these seatbelts. It's gonna get bumpy.